Welcome back to the Stevin's Garage YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be working on the wiring. We're going to get started on getting power to the cabin, and then from there in the next video we're going to move on to getting everything wired up for the Holley Terminator X. Pretty soon we'll have the fans, we'll have the fuel pump set up, and we'll be ready to crank this thing. It's taken me a while to get here, but I'm trying to go methodically. I hope you'll stick around. All right, fenders off again. I thought I was done taking those fenders on and off. So I need somewhere to mount this. I kind of want to make it serviceable, but also I don't want it right in the way. So I'm kind of thinking right here gives me access to bring the wires in, and I could do here too, but maybe that's more accessible because then I don't have to take anything off to get to it. This little cover pops off and then got cables that go there. Working on putting in this megafuse holder. Planning to put it right under there so it'll be hidden from view. Go right about there in front of the battery. There's a cover that goes over it. That'll bring the power from the positive power from the battery and then give us some fuse protection. I don't know if that fuse is going to be big enough or not, but what the plan is to bring that cable from the battery here and then have the fuse and then here and then bring it over to here where I'm going to have my distribution block. So we're going to go ahead and drill some holes to mount this. I've got a couple of self-tappers that should be sufficient to hold this thing. Okay, I just ground the edges of this to fit in here. So this is going to actually fit just like that. And then all the wiring that comes in is going to be brought from this side, and from here we'll run the wiring for the Holley up in the fender well. You're supposed to run the power direct from the Holley, so we're going to do that. And then we'll run a fan relay to run the two fans. That gets activated by the Holley. So I'm going to go ahead and drill 2 holes and then bolt this with nuts and bolts so that we can hold this in place, and then we'll run our wiring and then we can get all this put in place. You will likely never see this again. Nobody will, hopefully, but we're going to go ahead and show you anyway. We're putting this, I already put touch-up paint in the holes, and then we're just going to go ahead and nut and bolt this on with some, these are 1/4-20. Not really necessary, but that's what I'm doing. So this is on. There's actually a cover that covers this, so we won't have anything exposed, and the fender has plenty of room back there. So now we can go ahead and run our wire from the battery to our megafuse, and then from the megafuse to here. This will be, anything on this bus is going to get power. So we're going to have power from the battery. We're going to have another one that runs back over to the C100, and that'll power everything inside. Then we're going to have the Holley, and we'll have the fans. There's going to be a relay for that, and then I also need to send power to the fuel pump, so we can share a lug. It's not like we only have 4 total spots. So that'll be the plan. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of methodically work my way across there. Okay, I've made one jumper. This was the factory end from the 4th gen F-body battery cable. And then this is a 4-gauge terminal that I have crimped on there. So we're ready to go ahead and wire that in to the megafuse and the distribution block. And then I can go ahead and start wiring the other stuff. I have that all wired up. I got the battery for the positive side connected. So this is going to go basically here. We'll tidy this wiring up just a little bit. I'll probably zip tie it in the corner. Then I went ahead and put some tape on this, some cloth tape, the Tessa tape, just to tidy that up a little bit. That'll go down here. We want to keep it up away from the A-arms. This is the negative. That needs to go to probably a a motor mount. And then we'll run the other ones to the starter and to the alternator. We can go ahead and make those connections, I think permanently. And that should be all for our positive and negative cables. Well, positive, negative. Then I can work on getting power to the cabin next. And then we'll just keep working on this, and then the fender will go back on once I've got all these in here. I'm quite excited about that. I'm under the car now. We're running all the wiring. So this is the ground. This is going to go to one of the motor mounts right there. From what I'm reading, as long as it's somewhere on the engine block, it'll be fine. So we're going to tidy that up. I could run it here where the compressor is, but I really want to run AC on this car and I don't want to tie those up and have to worry about it later. This is the other harness. This is the positive. So right here, that is the alternator, and that runs right to our alternator. Just zip tied. I have it on the back side of the cross member. That way, if we do happen to hit something, it should protect that wire. And then the other one's a starter wire. That goes there. I've got it routed down pretty far away from the header. It's zip tied right over there, or it will be. We're gonna zip tie it right along there. I might angle it down a little bit, but there's no suspension stuff here that it can hit. So everything's getting tidied up, and then we'll have all that done. Then I can go ahead and run the wiring for the other side. I'm on the driver's side now. We got our 2 power distribution wires coming through this little grommet in the fender, the inner fender. And I've already got this connected here. I'm running fusible links on this side, which is what the factory would have done. And I'm using some butt splices. These are weather pack, you can heat them. So we're going to shrink those. And that will make them weather tight. So this is going to go, I'm going to connect that right in here. There's a cover that goes over there. That'll be nice and tucked out of the way. Once the fender well is in, the tire can't hit it or anything. And this will distribute power to the whole car inside. We just got to do the same thing with this other wire. So I'll get the other fusible link for this one. We'll connect it with a butt splice connector, and we'll put the other end right here. And once that's connected, I can go ahead and run a jumper wire from this pole in front of the radiator and we'll hide all that wiring so that it looks nice, tie it into our distribution panel on the other side, and then we should be able to test and see if we get power in the car. Hopefully it doesn't burn up. I have our 2-prong distribution block there. Our fusible links are right here. We'll be able to connect those. I need to wrap those with some Tesa tape. And then this is the other wire that's going to go over to our distribution block on the passenger side. So I need to go ahead and connect that there. There's a bar that links these two. And I'm gonna look at the best way to route that so that it's hidden. But that will wrap that part up. So we should be able to connect that and have power to this side. So that's pretty exciting. I believe that bar, there's a bar. I think this bar goes in first and then the lugs connect. I'll figure all that out. All right, I've got the battery in. We're getting ready to go ahead and touch the, let me bring you in a little closer. All right, there's our headlight there. You can just see it. It should move once I touch this this negative. Fingers crossed. I'm just gonna touch it and see what happens. Nothing. What the heck? There we go. I just didn't have it connected very well. All right, let's see. One headlight didn't go down, but it's unplugged because I'm an idiot. Okay, so we have power to the cabin. I didn't break it, thank God. All right, so now our circuit here, right here, we can go ahead and start adding stuff to it. I don't know that the 60 amp megafuse is going to be sufficient. It's probably not. I'm trying to be cautious. I need to calculate everything that goes in here so I know what to put, but we can go ahead and start adding stuff to it now that we know that that's good. And I didn't screw it up, so I guess there's that. So that's going to do it for this episode. In the next video, I'll be working on getting the Holley Terminator X installed. We're going to pull all the wiring. We're going to run all the wiring for everything else that's 12 volts. And I hope you'll stick around for that one. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.